You could go back to any point in history, dinosaurs, Romans, just to look, you're not in danger, where would you go? Says Esto. Oh, I'll tell you what, if I could go, this is going to get clipped, but I'm just going to say it anyway. If I could go back in, it's going to come across as really selfish, but if I could go back in history, I'd have to think about it more, because there's loads of things I'd like to do. But this one does come to mind. If I could go back in history, I would go back to the Titanic. And I'd be there when it left Southampton, and I'd go all along the voyage. I wouldn't tell anyone what's going to happen, which actually is a really selfish thing to do. But I don't want to be butterfly effect, so that's my excuse. I'd make sure I was in the first class section, and I'd have all the nice food and all the laugh. And then I'd basically stay on the Titanic when it's hit the iceberg right up until the very last second, so I could observe what's going on. And then I'd leave just at the last minute. So I'd never get wet, basically. That would be my condition. And then I'd just fly away. You can't tell them. You can't tell them, because then the Titanic won't hit the iceberg, and then all those people that died and all those people who survived and told stories and got motivated, it would have a butterfly effect. You can't change history, because the future would be different. So you can only observe it. Not my rules, the rules of the Super Chat. Also, if I told everyone on the Titanic it was going to sink by hitting an iceberg, they wouldn't believe me anyway, would they? So just don't tell them. You know what I'd also say as well? You know when they're saying women and children first? I'd say, you know, in 100 years' time, diversity will ruin all of that. So if you want to get on as a bloke, it's the future. Equality. Actually, the kids have got to get on, but don't do any of this women and children stuff unless it's just, you know, polite. Don't feel you have to. And Jack, definitely push her off the door or get on. You can get on. Imagine if the Titanic happened today and they said women and children first. Oh my God, no one would get on the boat. No one would get on the boat. What about me? What about my rights? What, you know, I'm... yeah, and God, yeah. And what do people describe themselves as now? You know, you could easily say, well, I am a woman. You know, have you seen my email? I don't identify as a male. Let me on the boat. Let me on the boat. Well, you quite clearly are a male. Oh, if we ever get off this boat, you're getting the sack. You can't do that. Check my emails. I do not identify as a man. Let me on the boat. Some things were simple.